Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions ruined your entire day? Maybe it was a rude comment, a thoughtless gesture, or even just an unexpected inconvenience. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the truth. No one has the power to control your emotions unless you let them. What if you could stay calm and unshaken no matter what life or anyone else throws your way? Imagine walking through your day with a sense of peace so strong that even the most irritating situations couldn't break it. That's not just wishful thinking. It's called emotional mastery. In this episode, we're diving into 10 transformative lessons that will help you stop reacting impulsively, let go of anger, and regain control over your emotions. These lessons aren't about ignoring your feelings or pretending not to care. They're about building the mental strength to navigate life's challenges with grace and clarity. Whether it's dealing with criticism, setting boundaries, or learning to let go of grudges, you'll discover practical tools to protect your peace and live with confidence. By the end of this episode, you'll have the mindset and strategies you need to stay unbothered, even in the most difficult situations. So if you're ready to unlock the secret to emotional freedom and live a life where no one else can control your mood, let's get started. Your journey to mastering your emotions begins now. Understand that your reactions are your choice. Picture this. You're in the middle of a peaceful day, maybe sipping coffee or walking through the park, when suddenly someone says something rude or inconsiderate. Your calm vanishes, replaced by anger or frustration. You think, why did they ruin my day? But here's the truth. They didn't. You did. Your emotions are your responsibility, not theirs, not anyone else's. No one has the power to control how you feel, unless you hand that power to them. Think of it this way. The world throws challenges at you, but only you decide how to react. Let me offer a fresh perspective. Imagine you're wearing noise-canceling headphones in a busy city. The chaos of honking cars and loud conversations doesn't disappear. It's still there, but it doesn't reach you. Mastering your reactions works the same way. You don't have to let the noise of other people's behavior invade your peace. A wise thought captures this beautifully. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. When someone cuts you off in traffic or criticizes your work unfairly, it's easy to blame them for your anger. But what if instead of reacting, you pause? In that pause, you find power. The power to choose calm over chaos, strength over impulsiveness. Here's a real-world example. Imagine your coworker dismisses your idea during a meeting. Instead of snapping back or stewing in resentment all day, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Is this really about me? Or is it their own stress or bias showing? By reframing the situation, you neutralize its power. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about suppressing how you feel. It's about recognizing that your feelings are separate from your reactions. Anger, frustration, and disappointment are natural, but they don't have to dictate what you do next. Here's a simple strategy to start practicing this mindset. Pause and identify. When you feel triggered, pause and name the emotion you're experiencing. This breaks the automatic reaction cycle. Ask questions. Reflect on why you're feeling this way. Is it because of what happened or your interpretation of it? Choose your response. Decide how you want to act based on your values and long-term peace, not the heat of the moment. Imagine the freedom of walking through life unbothered by others' actions. The rude stranger, the thoughtless remark, the minor inconvenience. All of them lose their grip on you when you take control of your reactions. In every moment, you have a choice. You can let others dictate your emotions, or you can reclaim your power and protect your peace. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember, their behavior doesn't define you. Your reaction does, and in choosing calm, you gain not just emotional mastery, but true freedom. Stop expecting people to behave like you. Have you ever been disappointed by someone's behavior and thought, how could they be so inconsiderate? I would never treat them this way. Here's the hard truth. People don't operate by your standards or values. They act based on their own. Expecting others to think, behave, or respond the way you would is like trying to control the weather. It's impossible and only leads to frustration. Think of it this way. Each person is walking their own path, shaped by their experiences, beliefs, and priorities. When someone does something that annoys or hurts you, it's often not a reflection of you. It's a reflection. Trying to change or control their behavior only leaves you feeling powerless. Instead of focusing on how others should act, focus on accepting them as they are. Here's an example. Imagine a coworker who constantly interrupts during meetings. Instead of seething with frustration or trying to teach them a lesson, recognize that their habit has nothing to do with you. By letting go of the expectation that they'll change, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. A wise thought sums this up perfectly. Expectations are the root of all suffering. The less you expect others to behave in a certain way, the easier it is to protect your peace. Here's a practical exercise to help you let go of these expectations. Acknowledge your assumptions. When someone upsets you, ask yourself, what was I expecting from them? Challenge that expectation. Reflect on whether it's realistic to expect someone else to act exactly as you would. Shift your focus. Instead of trying to control their behavior, focus on how you can respond calmly and maintain your peace. Think about how liberating this mindset is. The rude stranger, the forgetful friend, the inconsiderate coworker. None of them have the power to disrupt your emotions, unless you let them. When you stop expecting others to meet your standards, you take back control of your reactions. In the end, people are who they are, not who you want them to be. Accepting this truth doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior or abandoning your values. It means recognizing that your peace is too valuable to sacrifice for something you can't control. The next time someone disappoints or frustrates you, pause and remind yourself, they're acting from their nature, not mine. And that's okay, because I choose my response. By releasing those expectations, you gain freedom not just from others' actions, but from the emotional weight they once carried. Number 3, let go of the need to always be right. Think back to the last time you had an argument. Maybe it was something small, like debating which route was faster, or maybe it was something deeper, like a disagreement with someone close to you. As the tension rose, did you feel that strong urge to prove your point? To be right no matter what? We've all been there, clinging to our version of the truth as if our identity depends on it. But here's the truth. The need to always be right is exhausting and unnecessary. That constant urge to win an argument often comes from insecurity. It's as if being wrong somehow threatens who we are. But what if you could let go of that need? What if instead of defending, you chose to listen with curiosity? Here's a powerful question to consider. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be at peace? Insisting on being right creates tension, damages relationships, and leaves you drained. On the other hand, choosing peace allows you to respond with calm and understanding. Imagine this. Instead of trying to prove someone wrong, you simply acknowledge their perspective. You diffuse the tension, preserve your inner calm, and avoid unnecessary conflict. The Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu said it best. He who is attached to his views will never grow. Letting go of being right doesn't mean giving up your values or silencing your voice. It means recognizing that not every disagreement needs to be won. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step back. Here's how to start practicing this. Pause before responding. When you feel the urge to argue, take a breath. Ask yourself if it's worth your energy. Seek to understand. Ask questions instead of pushing your point. This approach reduces conflict and builds connection. Choose your battles. Save your energy for what truly matters. Disagreements that affect your values or have real consequences. As you let go of the need to always be right, you'll feel lighter, calmer, and more in control. Arguments won't grip your emotions because you've chosen peace over pride. Remember, your value isn't measured by how often you win a debate. It's measured by how you carry yourself, how you protect your energy, and how you maintain your inner peace. So the next time you're tempted to argue, pause. Ask yourself, do I want to be happy or right? In that moment, you'll discover the true power of letting go. Number 4, stop letting others define your worth. Imagine sharing something you're deeply passionate about, only to have someone respond with a dismissive comment. Suddenly, the confidence you felt disappears. Why does that happen? Because we often let other people's words shape how we see ourselves. But here's the truth. Your worth is not defined by anyone else's opinion. It's not based on compliments, criticism, or judgment. When you rely on others to validate you, you give them power over your emotions. Real emotional freedom begins when you take that power back. Let's say a colleague criticizes your work, not to help, but to tear you down. Your first reaction might be to defend yourself or feel hurt. But what if instead you paused and reminded yourself, their opinion reflects their perspective, not my value. By separating your identity from their judgment, you protect your peace. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Let that sink in. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback completely. It means you filter what matters, accept what helps you grow, and let the rest go. Here's how to stop letting others define your worth. Pause before reacting. When someone says something hurtful, take a breath. Don't respond impulsively. Separate fact from opinion. Ask yourself, is this true or just their view? Affirm your self-worth. Remind yourself, your value doesn't come from approval, it's already within you. If you live by others' validation, you'll always be their prisoner. But when you stop seeking approval that doesn't serve you, you reclaim your power and peace. So next time someone's words sting, ask, am I letting this define me? Or can I stand firm in what I know about myself? In that moment, you remind yourself, no one's words can take away your worth unless you let them. Number 5. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Picture this. A friend calls you late at night asking for help with something they could do themselves. Or a coworker drops a last-minute task on you, assuming you'll say yes. You feel obligated but also frustrated, because it disrupts your peace. So why is it so hard to say no? The truth is, protecting your peace means setting boundaries. And boundaries aren't selfish, they're essential. Without them, others dictate your time, your energy, and even your emotional well-being. Saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself. There's a powerful reminder to hold on to. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you constantly give without protecting your energy, burnout is inevitable. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about creating space for healthier relationships. If people cross your boundaries, it's often because you haven't clearly communicated or enforced them. Here's a simple example. If your friends always come to you for advice late at night and it drains you, say, I care about you, but I need evenings to rest. Let's talk tomorrow. You're not being rude. You're being responsible. Here's how to set boundaries effectively. Be clear and kind. Say, I need some quiet time after work, instead of, you're always bothering me. Be consistent. Once you set a limit, stick to it. That shows others you mean it. Remember what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us. Know your limits and respect them. Boundaries are not walls to shut people out. They're bridges to healthier, more balanced connections. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, have I communicated my needs? Am I honoring my own boundaries? When you start saying no to what drains you, you create space for what nourishes you, and you give the best version of yourself to the world. Number 6. Detach from the opinions of others. Imagine you share an idea you're proud of and someone scoffs or says something dismissive. The disappointment is real and it spirals into self-doubt. But here's the question, why does their opinion carry so much weight? Seeking approval is deeply ingrained in us, but relying on it is like chasing shadows. You never truly catch it. True emotional freedom begins when you stop letting others' opinions define your value. Remember this. Everyone sees the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences, insecurities, and biases. What they say about you often says more about them than it does about you. When you internalize their words, you give them power over your emotions and your life. But why should someone else control your narrative? Your worth is not up for debate. Let's say you wear something new you love. A coworker casually comments, "That's an interesting choice." You could let that ruin your mood, or you could smile and remind yourself, I love it, that's enough. The philosopher Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish and stupid. It might sound harsh, but it's freeing. Growth often means being misunderstood, and if you live for others' approval, you'll constantly limit yourself. Here's how to start detaching. Question the weight you give to others' opinions. Ask, why does this matter? Do they hold power over my life? Reaffirm your values. Ground yourself in your own goals and principles, not their expectations. Let go intentionally. Picture their words like leaves floating down a stream. You see them, but you don't hold on to them. Lao Tzu said, care about people's approval and you will always be their prisoner. This doesn't mean you ignore everyone or become isolated. It means you learn to filter. Constructive feedback can help, but toxic judgment, that's not yours to carry. Think of detachment like a raincoat in a storm. The rain might fall, but it doesn't soak you. The next time someone's words make you second-guess yourself, ask, am I living for them or for me? By choosing to detach, you reclaim your freedom, protect your peace, and begin to live authentically, on your terms. Number 7, respond in silence, not anger. Imagine this, you're in a heated argument. Someone says something hurtful, maybe even something meant to provoke you. You feel the anger rising. Your heart pounds. Your face heats up. And your instinct? It's to fire back with a cutting remark. But what if instead of reacting, you said nothing? Silence is one of the most powerful tools you have when dealing with negativity. It's not about giving in or avoiding confrontation. It's about choosing calm over chaos. Responding with silence doesn't make you weak. It shows strength. It means you value your peace more than your pride. There's deep wisdom in this. The less you respond to negativity, the more peaceful your life becomes. Silence speaks volumes. It says, I won't let your behavior control me. Let's take an example. Imagine someone at work undermines you during a meeting, trying to make you look bad. You have two choices: engage in a back-and-forth argument, or pause and respond with silence. By staying silent, you deny them the reaction they seek. You keep your composure. You show everyone who truly holds the higher ground. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the best answer to anger is silence. Anger needs fuel to keep burning, and silence takes that fuel away. When you choose not to engage, you break the cycle of negativity and protect your emotional well-being. Think of silence as a shield. It deflects the noise without pulling you into the fight. Here's how to make silence your go-to response during moments of provocation. Pause before reacting. When someone says something provocative, take a moment to breathe. Silence creates space for clarity. Listen without defending. Sometimes people just want to vent. Let them speak. You don't need to interrupt or explain yourself every time. Speak only when necessary. If a response is needed, keep it calm, clear, and to the point. As the teaching goes, speak only if it improves upon the silence. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you choose the right time and way to express them. Silence doesn't ignore the problem. It preserves your energy for when your voice truly matters. Think about how often we regret words said in anger. Silence removes that regret. It allows you to reflect, reassess, and respond thoughtfully. And often, silence says more than words ever could. So next time someone tries to provoke you, pause and ask yourself, will responding help, or will it only escalate the situation? By choosing silence, you protect your peace, show strength, and keep control of the narrative. Remember, silence isn't the absence of a response, it's the presence of wisdom. It's the ability to rise above the noise and say, your words don't control me, my peace does. And that's how you win the battle without ever raising your voice. Number 8. Practice gratitude to dissolve your anger. You're having one of those days where everything goes wrong, your plans fall apart, someone makes a rude comment, and every small inconvenience feels unbearable. Anger starts bubbling up, and you think, why does everything have to be so difficult? Now pause. What if, just for a moment, instead of focusing on everything going wrong, you shifted your attention to what's going right? Gratitude has the power to turn anger into calm. It helps you reframe even the worst moments into opportunities for peace and perspective. Here's a powerful truth. You can't feel grateful and angry at the same time. Gratitude works like a mental reset button. It pulls you out of negativity and reminds you of what's still good, what still matters, even in a frustrating situation. Take this simple example. You're stuck in traffic, running late for an important appointment. Instead of fuming at the cars ahead of you, try this. Take a deep breath and think of 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's the fact that you have a car, the opportunity you're headed toward, or even just the music playing on the radio. This shift can completely transform your emotional state. As Cicero said, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, it's the parent of all others. Gratitude doesn't just dissolve anger, it builds resilience, it fosters patience, and it helps you focus on what truly matters. Here's how to make gratitude a daily habit. Pause and reflect. When anger starts to rise, take a moment to breathe. Ask yourself, What can I be thankful for right now? Keep a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 things that went well, no matter how small. This trains your mind to notice the positive. Use gratitude as a reframe. When faced with a challenge, think about what you can learn from it, or how it could have been worse. For example, say, "I'm grateful for the chance to learn from this feedback, even if it wasn't delivered kindly." This doesn't excuse the other person's behavior. It keeps you grounded. It helps you rise above. Let's remember this. If we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. If we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we didn't get sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful. Gratitude isn't about ignoring frustration or anger. It's about choosing what uplifts you over what drags you down. The next time you feel anger boiling up, pause and shift into gratitude. In that moment, you'll realize peace isn't something you find, it's something you create. Number 9. Criticism as a tool for growth. Imagine this. You've just shared an idea you're proud of, maybe at work, with friends, or online. Then someone immediately shoots it down with harsh criticism. Your first instinct? Probably defensiveness, maybe even anger. And that's normal. It's human to feel hurt when your efforts are met with negativity. But what if you could look at criticism differently? What if instead of seeing it as an attack, you saw it as a chance to grow? Criticism, no matter how it's delivered, can become a tool for self-betterment. Let me give you an example. You're preparing a presentation. A colleague points out several flaws in your work. You could dismiss them. They're just trying to undermine me. Or you could pause and reflect. Is there truth in what they're saying? How can I use this feedback to improve? By choosing the second path, you turn what might feel like an insult into a stepping stone. There's a wise saying that goes, "Criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish growth without destroying the roots." Of course, not all criticism is helpful. Some people criticize out of jealousy, ignorance, or even malice. The key is to filter what you hear. Keep what's constructive. Let go of what's not. So how do you handle criticism with grace? Pause before reacting. When someone criticizes you, take a breath. This helps you respond, not react emotionally. Evaluate the source. Who's giving the feedback? Do they have your best interests in mind? Is their perspective informed? Find the lesson. Even poorly delivered criticism can hold value. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Let's take a more personal example. Imagine a family member criticizes your choices, your career, your lifestyle. Instead of arguing or shutting down, you could say, "I hear your concerns. I'll think about what you said." This response shows maturity. It gives you space to reflect without fueling conflict. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said it best. If someone criticizes you and if it's true, improve yourself. If it's not true, ignore it. Criticism, when approached with the right mindset, becomes a mirror. It helps you understand yourself better. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but real growth often is. By welcoming feedback, even the tough kind, you develop resilience, humility, and a stronger sense of self. So next time someone critiques you, ask, "Can I learn from this? Is this about me or more about them? And how can I grow from this moment?" Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. And criticism, when used well, is a tool that sharpens that wisdom. Number 10. The art of letting go. Now let's talk about letting go. Imagine this. You're holding a hot coal, ready to throw it at someone who hurt you. But while you wait, who's really getting burned? The truth is, holding on to pain, anger, or resentment harms you more than anyone else. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean saying what happened was okay. It means freeing yourself from the grip of the past. When you let go, you take back your energy, your peace, and your ability to live in the present. Buddha said it powerfully. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Think about a time someone wronged you. Maybe it was a betrayal, an unfair judgment, or a cruel word. How many times did you replay that moment in your head? How much energy did you waste planning comebacks or seeking revenge? Letting go is the antidote to that cycle. It lets you move forward instead of being stuck in the past. Here's another example. You're at work. Someone else gets credit for your idea. You could dwell on the unfairness for days, or you could let it go, realizing that your worth isn't tied to that single moment. You can choose peace and focus on what matters most, your growth and your next opportunity. AQ. Lao Tzu said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Letting go isn't just about anger. It's about releasing perfectionism, regret, expectations, anything that weighs you down. So, how can you begin practicing the art of letting go? Acknowledge your feelings. Don't suppress them. Feel your hurt, your disappointment, but without judgment. Reframe the situation. Ask, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? Focus on the present. Letting go is a gift you give yourself. It doesn't excuse the past. It frees you from it. Think of letting go like releasing a balloon. The longer you hold on, the more it strains your hand. But when you let it go, you feel lighter, freer. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not be disturbed by what is outside your control. Let it go, and you will find peace. Letting go doesn't mean tolerating injustice. It means choosing where to put your energy. And by letting go of what you can't change, you make space for what you can. So next time you're holding on to pain, ask yourself, is this worth my peace? When you let go, you don't become weaker. You become wiser. You become freer. And you become stronger. These are powerful tools you can use every day to protect your peace, build emotional resilience, and take control of your reactions. Remember, emotional freedom isn't a destination, it's a practice. So keep showing up for yourself. And if you found value in this, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs a little more calm and strength in their life. Thanks for listening. Until next time, take care and stay unbothered. Subscribe to Wisdom and Love Corner channel for more wisdom tips.